Hello students. So student, in the previous class in this chapter, that is matter around is pure, we were talking about the properties of the mixture and that of the compound. We have seen with the help of example student that what are the different properties of the mixture and that of the compound also. In this one students, we have seen that how the properties of that of the compound of the compound and that of the mixture varies with each other. Now if the things which we have taken student to understand the property, so we have taken the sulfur and that of the iron filling, and when you mixes both of them together, iron filling and sulfur together, then mixes together, it will show the property of the mixture. And if if you have taken both of them and heated together, it will form a black substance, that is iron sulfide, and iron sulfide will show the property of the compound. Now on the basis of this, we are able to differentiate between that of the compound and the mixture. Let us write that how we can differentiate between that of the compound and mixture. So here I will write here compound, then here is the mixture. So the first thing is there in that of the compound is that this cannot be separated from each other into its following constituent, into their respective constituent with the help of any physical method. Okay. So we can write it cannot be separated into its constituents it cannot be separated into its constituent by using physical methods. What kind of a physical methods that we can use to separate it, student? So it can be the filtration or evaporation or sublimation or boiling or cooling, or we can say condensation. So we are not able to separate them by using these kind of a physical means if we talk about that of the compound. But in case of the mixture, yes, it is. We can say that we are able to separate the constituent. We are able to separate the mixture into the respective constituent by using this physical means. It can be separated. It can be separated by using physical methods. Like filtration, then evaporation, etc. Okay, so in case of the mixture, it can be separated, but in case of the compound, it cannot be separated into their respective constituent. The next one is even if you look at the property of the mixture, so each constituent will show their individual property, but in case of a compound, they will not going to show the individual property. So we can write it do not show the properties of its constituents, the properties of its constituents. But in case of the mixture, we can write it that yes, it shows the properties of its constituents. Okay, so it will shows it the property of its constituent. So in case of the compound, it will not going to show this. Okay, now we will move and see the third difference between that of the compound and the mixture. So you see students, while making a compound, energy is required. It means the two reacting, the two elements which are combining to each other to form compound, they used to absorb heat in the formation of the compound. But if we talk about the mixture, so in case of a mixture, it is not like that. There is no such absorption of a heat occur, or even the heat is not given out while the formation of the mixture occur. But in case of a compound, either heat is given or it is absorbed. Okay, so we can write the next difference. That is, in the formation of compounds, energy in the form of heat and light, neither absorbed nor evolved. Okay, so during the formation of that of the compound, energy, it can be either in the form of a light or heat. It do not get absorbed nor it get evolved in this formation. But in case of a mixture, it is just opposite. We can say that in the formation of a compound, formation of a mixture, energy, student, this is the property of that of the mixture. So either we can say heat is absorbed, heat and light either absorb or evolve. Means in case of a compound, there is a requirement of the heat to be absorbed. When the two elements, they combine together to form the compound, at that time definitely heat is required or heat is evolved when they react with each other. In case of the mixture, it is just opposite, that neither the heat is required nor it is evolved. Okay, so in the formation of a mixture, energy in the form of heat and light neither absorb or evolve. Okay, so here the absorption of the heat does not occur, absorption of the light does not occur, evolution of the heat does not occur in case of the mixture. But in case of a compound, yes, heat absorption occurs. Okay, now the composition. So then the compounds, they always combine together in a fixed ratio bypass, but no such kind of a composition occur in that of the mixture. It means the composition is variable. So we can write that the Composition of a compound the composition so we can say that the composition of the compound is the fixed one. Okay, so composition of a compound are present in fixed proportion. Okay, and because of that only the compounds are having the definite formula. But if we talk about the mixture, student, mixtures do not have a definite formula. Okay, so we can write it compounds, because of that it has a definite formula. Okay, now in case of that of the mixture, the composition of mixture is variable. The composition of the mixture is variable. So here the composition, it means the constituent which is by which the compound is made up of. Here it is always present, always combined together in a fixed proportion, and because of that they are having the definite formula. But in case of the mixture, the composition of the mixture is not definite, they are variable. Now, having the composition which is having the definite proportion, so their melting point and their boiling point will also remain the same. But in case of the mixture, their melting point and the boiling point varies because the composition also is variable. Okay. So we can write it that in case of the compound, the melting and boiling point is fixed. Okay, melting point and boiling point is fixed. But in case of the mixture, the melting point and that of the boiling point is not fixed. So here in case of the mixture, the melting point and boiling point is not fixed. And it happens because of the property here, students, because here the individuals, they shows their own property, so ultimately the melting and the boiling point will also be different. Okay, so we can write it that the melting point and the boiling point, it is also variable, is different, is not fixed. Okay, so here the melting point and the boiling point is fixed, but here the melting and the boiling point is not fixed. So this is what, student, these are some of the difference between that of the mixture and the compound. We have seen that how can we differentiate between compound and the mixture. It is important, student, because many times the question can be asked related to what you understand by mixture, what are the different types of a mixture, as well as what are the properties of the elements, what are the properties of the compound, what are the properties of the mixture, as well as how are you able to differentiate between that of the compound to the mixture. So absolutely on the basis of their property we are able to differentiate between the compound and the mixture. Now let us move on and try to understand the another concept, students. So while talking, okay, we have seen here that of the compound, we have discussed about the mixture. So when we were talking about the mixture, so one thing is clear from this difference, from this property, students, that compound will always remain homogeneous. It means there is no kind of a visible boundary you will able to see in case of a compound. It is uniform throughout the mass, and this we have understood with the property that when you will take a magnifying glass and see the compound and see the mixture, you will find that in mixture Possibility is there that the composition is not uniform, but in case of the compound it is always the same. So the reason is the compound is always homogeneous. Okay, but mixture can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. Okay, so because of that only the properties also vary. Now when we were talking about the mixture, we said that the mixture can be homogeneous, can be heterogeneous. Now mixture, when it will be homogeneous, students, we said in case of the solutions as well as in case of the alloys. These two are what? These are the mixtures only, because this shows the property of the mixture, but they are the homogeneous mixture. It means its composition is uniform throughout the mass. So let us start with that of the case of the solution. Let us see that what are different properties. On the basis of that you can say that it is a mixture. Case of a solution. Now the first one, it is a homogeneous. Let me write it, then I will tell you with the help of example. So it is a homogeneous, and homogeneous as well as heat is evolved or absorbed. Okay, heat is evolved or it will be absorbed in case of the homogeneous mixture. Now, so any other thing is there which make it to mixture? So this is, when you look at this statement, student, you will find, okay, this is what? This is the property of the compound in which the homogeneous mixture, it used to, the homogeneous is there as well as heat is evolved and absorbed. But there are property on the basis of that you can say that it is not a compound but it is a mixture. Okay. Now what are that? So the first one is that it can be separated into its component by using physical means. By using physical means. Okay, so it can be separated by using physical means. Next one is, it shows the property of their respective respective constituent. So it shows the properties of its constituents. Okay. So as we have seen in case of a mixture, it also shows the property of its constituent or composition. Next one is, it is having variable composition. So variable composition, it is a property of the composition. Variable composition. Then the next one is that it does not have a fixed boiling point. It has having the variable. Here we will not going to talk about the melting point, student. Don't get confused. Absolutely, because boiling is what? Conversion of the liquid to gas. The solution, it means it is present in the liquid form. So we will use only the boiling point. So we can say it does not have a fixed boiling point. Okay, so boiling point is also not fixed. Now look at here. You will find, except the first one, all these are the property of the mixture. So yes, absolutely, it is homogeneous. That is okay. The solution is there, so it will going to absorb or evolve that of the heat. but it is actually a mixture because it shows all the different property of the mixture, and thus we can say that it is a homogeneous mixture. Any example is there by which we will able to understand it more clearly? Yes. You see students, if we talk an example of a salt solution, then so if we take an example of a salt solution, students, so by taking this example, you see, when you take for making the salt solution, what are the things which is needed? So at first you will take a few amount of a salt and add in the water. When you add it in the water, what will happen? The salt will get dissolved in it. Now look at the salt. Are you able to see the salt in the water? No, because it was properly dissolved in the water. Now do one thing, you just take out a spoon of the salt water and drink it. What you will find? You will find the taste of the salt. Now again from the another place of the same glass, you will take the spoon of one spoon of the salt water and drink it. You will find that yes, again it will consisting of the salt solution. So by all these things we have understood here one thing, and that is, in case of the salt solution, the salt is homogeneous. It is present uniformly throughout by mass. Okay, so it is saying that yes, it is a mixture, but it is what kind of a mixture? It is a homogeneous mixture. Now here the second thing, how can we prove it? So you see, we are saying salt solution is a homogeneous mixture, not a compound. So sorry, so it can be separated into component by its by using some physical means. Yes, if you are able, how are you able to separate the salt solution? So through the process of evaporation. You know that even the sea water is collected so that the salt can be obtained from it. So we can say that we are able to separate it by the process, and that is known as evaporation. And what is the evaporation? It is a physical method of the separation. So we are able to separate the salt from that of the salt solution by using physical means, by using physical method. So use of the physical method help in separating the components which is used in the mixture. Next one is, it shows the property of its constituent. Absolutely, when you take the salt and that of the water will show its own property, because when you boil it, what happen? It will boil on its own on its own boiling point. Okay, so salt and that of the water will shows their own property Now, the composition variable, absolutely the composition varies, student, because you have not taken it in a fixed ratio. You have simply taken a 1 or 2 tablespoon of the salt and added in the water. Okay, so we will say that the composition of the constituent is variable. It does not have a fixed boiling point. Yes, since the salt is what? It's a solid one. Water is having its own boiling point, so we can say that both of them do not have the fixed boiling point. So by this, student, we have understood that in case of the solution, it is a homogeneous mixture. Okay. Okay, so this was for students. This we had studied about the solution, and we can say that how we will take solution as a mixture, or we will say that solution is a homogeneous mixture. Now let us try to understand the next one, student, and that is the alloys. Okay, we are saying alloys are also what? It is a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so alloy basically alloy is what? It is a homogeneous mixture which is formed by mixing two metals or two non-metals, or one metal and one non-metal with each other. Okay, so two solid substances, we can say they mixes together to form the alloys here. Okay, so we can write the alloy. Alloys are the homogeneous mixture. Are homogeneous. These are homogeneous, and it cannot be separated by separated by physical means. Okay, by physical means. Now you see here student, when we were talking about in case of a solution, we said that a solution is what? It is a homogeneous mixture which used to absorb heat in the formation, during the formation of a solution, either heat is evolved or absorbed. Now this property is of the compound, and even then also we will call the solution as a homogeneous mixture, and the reason because it shows the property of the mixture. It shows all the other thing except that, all the other thing it shows the properties of the mixture. Now see here, in this case also the same thing. Alloys, they are basically homogeneous, okay, made up of two metals, made up of two non-metals, or a metal or that of the non-metal. So here alloys are the homogeneous and it cannot be separated by physical means. So this is the thing that we should know, that alloys cannot be separated from each other through physical means. Now we have understood here. Now this is the property of whose? It is the property of the compound. And even then also we called alloy as a mixture. Why is it so? We can write it. Even then also alloys are called as mixture. Because there are something that is, it shows the property of the constituent. The first one we will see here. It shows the properties of its constituent. It shows the property of its constituents. Then cannot be separated, okay. It shows the property of the composition. Now the composition is variable, and this is because of that they are not having a kind of a definite formula also. So we will say that the alloys are the composition are variable. So we can say by this that alloys is also considered as a homogeneous mixture. Is there any example, student, by the help of which we are able to understand this concept very clearly? Yes, brass. So you all have heard about the brass, which is a homogeneous substance, and it is made up of a copper and zinc. So copper is a metal, zinc is also a metal. Copper and zinc, they mixes together to form a substance that is known as brass. Brass is an alloy, student, remember. It is not a metal, it is not a non-metal, it is an alloy. Brass. Copper and zinc. Copper and zinc forms a homogeneous substance called brass, which cannot be separated. It cannot be separated by any physical means. Okay, so it cannot be separated by any physical means, but it shows the property of its constituent, that is copper and zinc. Copper and zinc, as well as it shows variable composition. Okay, so it shows the variable composition. So this is, students, we can say that the solution and alloys both are considered to be the homogeneous mixture. Okay.